Friends, and welcome to this amazing lecture where we are going to develop a Python game here using Pygame. This is the library which we are going to use here, and we are going to develop 10 back-to-back projects in Python. Okay, so let's get started with this project with this code. So initially, at the first step, we need to import the library which I just mentioned, that is the library Pygame. So let's just import Pygame. That's the library we need, Pygame. Now we just initialize Pygame. So for initializing Pygame, we have pygame.init that will initialize Pygame for us. Now for the game, so as it is a Pac-Man game, so we need to have the screen size and the screen width, right? So there are two variables here. Let's say the screen underscore width, and that will be equal to something called as let's say we give it as 700, and on screen height is equals to, let's say we keep it as 480. We create the screen after this. So to create the screen, we have screen is equals to Pygame dot display dot set underscore mode, and now this set mode will use these variables, that is the screen height and the screen width. But here we need two brackets for the screen width, for the screen width and the screen height. Now, so the window will have some title to display, that is Pygame is equals to, and then Pygame dot display dot set caption. That will be the name of the game. So let's say we keep it as Pac-Man. Okay, so that's the game name. Now for defining the colors, we have the whole background to be like if you have played Pac-Man, then you must be knowing that the object is yellow in color, the food is yellow in color, and then there are some aliens which are ghosts, you can say, which are some different colors, and the food may be white also. And yeah, so let's just code the colors now, defining the colors. So we have black is equals to, and then the RGB values for it, that is 0, 0, 0. Then we have white color. So white is equals to, this will have 255, 55, 255. Okay, so these are the RGB values. Now red. So if you have red color, red means it's 255. Because it stands for R, G, and P, right? So R, G, and P. Now we have 0, 0. And the last one is yellow. So yellow is equals to have 255, 255, 0. Those are the colors we have defined. And for the font style, for setting up the font, we have font is equals to pygame.font.sy, that is system font, and then we have none, and then comma 25. So for the size, font size. Now for the clock in the game, we have the clock. So clock will be equal to pygame dot tick dot time dot clock. Okay, and now we start defining the Pac-Man's positions, that is the starting point where the Pac-Man will be. Okay, so we have now a variable called as Pac. Create this variable Pac-Man, and then Pac-Man underscore x is equals to, we have 50. So that's a random point where it will start on the screen, right? So Pac-Man underscore y is equals to 50 again, and the size of Pac-Man is, let's say, Pac-Man underscore size is equals to, let's say, give it as 20. Okay. Now, the speed. So when you're moving the cursor, what speed the Pac-Man will be moving? So the speed, let's say it's 5. So that speed the Pac-Man or the object will keep on moving. Okay. Now we define the pallets in the pallets list. Okay. So we have pallets is equals to all pallet underscore, let's say, list is equals to, and then we have an empty list, and we have pallet underscore list underscore size is equals to, we have 5. Pallet size is 5. Now we create the pallets for like starting to create the pallets. Okay, so let's just start with, okay, we just comment it out here so that create the pallets, right? So we have create pallet. So now we have for I to range. Okay, so what is the range? Range starts from 0, comma, and then the screen width, comma 20. Screen width. So we have the screen width and not the screen height, comma 20. So we have a nested follow. Now for this thing, for j in there is some range for the height. We have in range, and the range is 0, comma screen height, comma 20. So if this is there, what we do is we start appending inside the palette list. So palette underscore list append, and then we set a rectangle here. So rect, it's just rect RECT. Okay, now that rectangle comes, so this rectangle, which is great, will have the i's or j's, and then comma palette size. We have the palette size already mentioned, right? So we have palette underscore size, comma underscore size. Okay, so that's it for the defining or for creating the palettes now. So now we start or to define the game loop. So defining the game loop, we have running. So now the game is running value is true. Once the running value is true, now while we have inside the while loop, while running, what we have to do, we have to handle the events. Which events we have to handle? If the user presses quit, if the user presses the left arrow, user presses the right arrow, and we have to get the Pac-Man moving, right? So first we handle the event where the user presses quit, right? So for event in Pygame dot event dot get, now if the user or if the event type is quit, so we have it. If the event type is quit, we have running, the value running will changes. This is still inside the loop itself. Okay, so that was first thing. Now we have keys is equals to, and then Pygame dot key dot, and then now key gets pressed, right? So that is the get pressed. Which key gets pressed? Now, if keys, so we have inside the keys, and now for the keys like Pygame, so Pygame will have all the values, right? So we have dot and then k. If you just press k underscore left, so if you press k underscore left, you have it. So the left key is what will the Pac-Man do? Like the Pac-Man will start left, right? So Pac-Man underscore x minus equals the speed. So how many times you press it, right? So then we have if. So these will be all if statements, not if, right? Because if one condition is to be met and the other condition is also, like, if statements are multiple if statements, means all the conditions have to be satisfied. Okay, so if the up arrow is pressed, then the background will go up. You can't use an if here, right? So let's just copy this. Just copy and then we paste it here. Okay, so now this is instead of left, this will be here. Instead of left, we have a underscore right. Yeah, that one right. And now this plus equals speed. Okay, and then now we have the up and the down. So let's just copy this again and the once and up. Now this will be k underscore up. So we have k underscore that's k underscore up. So underscore minus speed and now k underscore down and k underscore down and then the new plus. That's it. So now we have all the logic for moving the Pac-Man here. To find the logic for moving the Pac-Man and now to keep the Pac-Man on the screen. So the Pac-Man doesn't go anywhere, right? So we have inside this while loop only. So we have keep. So let's say keep the Pac-Man on the screen, right? Right. So we have if Pac-Man is or else Pac-Man underscore x is less than 0. So then what will happen? Pac-Man underscore x is less than 0 means what? Is equal to 0. That's it. Elif what is it? Elif Pac-Man underscore x. So let's say Pac-Man underscore x is greater than a. Wait, so now if the Pac-Man goes outside the screen, right? Minus, then we have minus Pac-Man underscore size. Pac-Man underscore size means that Pac-Man is gone now, right? So we have Pac-Man underscore x is equals to screen width minus Pac-Man size, right? So we have polling here this line above. That's it. Now we have if for the same thing for the like we will just copy these and this will be the same thing for the height, right? So that will be for y. So instead of this x I press y is less than 0, then Pac-Man y is equal to 0. Okay, and then if what will happen, we just copy this and let's paste it over below. If the y value is greater than screen and not the screen height, now it's the width. So let's say it's the screen height instead of width, that's minus Pac-Man size and for as well the screen height. So let's just paste it here. So now the Pac-Man y value, right? Y value is equal to screen height minus the Pac-Man size, right? Now let's see the for the palette collisions, like what happens. So let's say we have check for palette collision. Okay. So for the palette collision for palette in the palette list, right? So we have created a palette list, and then inside that list all the values are getting stored, right? So now what will happen is if palette dot collide rect, right? So if the rect is like palette dot if that palette is colliding the thing, so what will happen is the Pygame's the rectangle value now changes. So we have Pygame dot rect, and then that rectangle will be now Pac-Man underscore x comma Pac-Man underscore y comma Pac-Man underscore size and the Pac-Man underscore size. That's it. So now, if this is there for the pallets, now what we do, we do the pallet underscore list. So from that list, we have to remove the pallet. Right? So pallet underscore list dot remove, and then we do the pallet and score. So here score plus equals 1, right? So we increase or decrease the score, right? And so basically, if we are using the score here, it has to declare the score here after screen or something. So score is by default labeled as 0. Now we can use the score here, right? So that's the part. Now we're almost like 70% done with the code, and now what we do is we have to fill the screen, right? So with all the colors which we have defined, right? So screen dot fill, and then with what color we are filling it. So we are filling it with screen. Screen dot fill is with black color. So we have already defined all the colors. Now we can just use them. All the variables we can just use. We will draw a circle, right? Draw not a rectangle, draw a circle, right? Dot circle, that means circle, and then that will be screen. So screen, comma, and then screen, comma, yellow. We are using the yellow color, yellow, and then comma, and then we have the Pac-Man's x value, size value, by 2, right? So we have Pac-Man underscore x plus we have Pac-Man underscore size. So this is the value plus Pac-Man underscore size. Size, and then we have slash 2. Then after this we have comma Pac-Man y plus Pac-Man size. That is the like how this Pac-Man will be formed, right? So we do slash 2, and then that will be comma Pac-Man size. Then that's it. So that will be the Pac-Man's body. And now for the palette, so for palette list, we draw the rectangles. Pygame dot draw not a circle. Now it will be a rectangle. So what is this? There will be a palette list. So now we have a rectangle, and then that will have white. So now these will be the inside the palette. So now these palette, and we have to now let's see again. So everywhere we have a list with palette list. So now it's one replace here. That's the default. And we will also have to search for palette. So let's just search for palette, and we have, I guess we have palette sizes. So palette underscore size, that palette underscore size. Change palette underscore size equals 4. Now there are words. This will be for palette. It will be P. So now we can change. Now there is no game. Okay. Now, so now the score will render. And the score will be keep on increasing. Score underscore. We have to keep the text for the score, right? The score has to be displayed, right? So we do font dot render, and that score has to be displayed, right? Now that will be score, and that score is now. So we just add the concatenate that str and then whatever the value is for the score. Now the score is updated and then comma true, and then red. So that's red. Now it's red to red. Close it. That's it. The score is being there now, and now we just have state dot lit. Okay, that screen will be displaying the score text. So score text, and where it displays display at that text. Okay. Now, so now we update the screen. So for updating the screen, we have Python dot display dot flip. Close it. Clock dot tick. So now the clock will tick for 60 seconds, right? 60. And last, not the least, we just quit the Pygame, that is Pygame dot quit. So you press exit or something or escape, then the game quits. The screen closes. Now let's just give it a run and let's see if there are no errors, then the game window will be displayed and we can start playing the Pac-Man game. So let's see. So now we have PvP pellet. So there is some error in the line number 68. That is if pellet. That's it. Okay. So there is one more issue which we have. Polite rect. So we have yes, whatever we wanted here is COLLITERECT. Polite rect. So let's choose that. Clear this out, mess, and then just run it again. We run it. Oh, we have another error on line number. Okay, pellet 69 as well. Now I think it should run perfectly fine. So now we have Pac-Man. So now we've actually touched it. So I guess we need the variables to be white in color, the whatever the values were. So let's just rerun this code now. And okay, now we have it. So we have all the values as white in color, and if you touch the palette, touch the end, so that the end ends. Score is created here. So now we have what you say, we can add or we can do the posts as well here. So that's the Pac-Man game for you guys, and happy learning. Thank you so much. Hello friends, and welcome to this amazing lecture where we are going to develop a game using Python and using the library called Pygame. So here's something to get started with, and we are doing the 10 Python projects back to back. So let's get started. So we start with importing the library called the Pygame library. So we have Pygame, and then we also import the random library for Python, because randomly the food will be displayed anywhere on the screen, right? So now let's initialize the Python Pygame. So Pygame underscore init and close it. Okay, we've already imported Pygame and now this will have to change. So Pygame dot or not underscore, it's Pygame dot init. Okay, so now that's being used. Let's define the screen size now and also the how much the blocks would be there. So let's say the width 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 is equals to, let's say, 500 comma height is also equal to, let's say, 500 comma, and now the block size, so block underscore size is equals to 10, and the FPS, let's say that's a variable, FPS frames per second, that is 15, let's say. Okay, now let's just define three colors. So now that those colors have already been like we have them from the previous code, so let's just paste them here. So the white color 255, 255, 255, black is 000, and red, we need these three colors. The background will be red in color. If you want it white, then you can make it white, and vice versa, right? Okay, now so let's just initialize the game window or set up the game window, that is the screen. So screen is equals to that will be pygame dot display dot set underscore mode, and that will be equal to, or that will be uh, width and the height. So let's say th width comma height, right? So now this has to be inside our bracket, one more bracket. Okay, now we have the caption or the title of the window which will be displayed. So that is pygame pygame dot display, and then that will be displaying the set, not the set mode, that is already done. That will be set underscore caption, and that caption would be something called as snake game, right? So it will be snake game, right? Now let's define the class called snake, and now mind you, this code will be a bit longer than all the code, because this is a bit advanced code in Python. So let's just start with the init function, and like self parameters are self dot length. So that will be by default length, length is equals to, let's say, 1, so it will start with 1, and then the positions, so we have self dot positions is equals to, and that will be in a list. So now that list will contain width divided by 2 comma height divided by 2. So we have width, where is it, width divided by 2, and inside this we have height divided by 2, and outside the bracket. Now the direction is random, right? So we have the self dot, not the rotation, and be later on, self dot direction, and is equals to, we'll have random dot choice, that is random dot, we have choice, and let's just say we have up comma down, left and right. Okay, so let's just close this. Now we've not used or defined these, so we'll be using them, we'll be defining them, and once those are defined, the errors will go, and then self dot color is equals to red, we'll be using that. Okay, and self, let's say the score, right, self dot score is equals to 0. Okay, now we define the get underscore head underscore position, and that will be again the self. So where is the position exactly? So we return the self positions here from the list. Okay, now we define the turning, right? So define turn is equals to, we have self and then also the point, right, comma point, right? So now this will be if self dot length is greater than 1, and the point, like, and also we have inside the bracket and point, sorry, point 0, so that point is a list, point 0th element multiplied by -1, comma point first element multiplied by -1 is equals to self dot direction, right? That is self dot direction. Now we return. Okay. Else, what we do? Else we have self dot direction is equals to point. Now let's define the function for the character, for the let's say the head to move, right? So let's say def move is equals to, or sorry, def move and then self parameter again. Now this cursor will be like, it will be moving from the head position will be on the screen itself. So we have cur is equals to self dot get underscore head position, right? And then that will be x comma y is equals to self dot direction. Okay, x comma y is equals to self dot direction. Now we see these are grayed out as and when we use them. So once we use them below, they will they will be highlighted. Okay, so now we have new is equals to first cursor, from the cursor we have the 0th value plus self, or else plus x. So we have x multiplied by the block size. So we have the block size and comma for the first element, that is 1 plus y into the block size. Okay, so now just ended here, so there is one more place where we didn't add it. Yeah, we added it here and then add end it here. Yes. Now after this we have if new in self dot position, self dot positions, and from where, like from the from this point. So we have self dot position 2 colon, so after the second one 2 colon and then all of them, the rest, right? So we have self dot reset and then just closes. Else what we have to do is, else for the moment self dot positions dot insert. What we insert? We'll insert 0 and the new, whatever the new food the snake has eaten, right? So that value has to be added here. Okay, we made a mistake here, typo. Let's now if length of the self position, right, self positions is greater than self dot length, is greater than self dot length, length, then what to do? The self dot positions dot, we'll have to do a pop, and that's it. Now we've called this reset function here. Now let's just define, or let's just declare the reset function. So we have def reset self and close it. So again the same thing for defining the reset function here. So that will be self dot length is equals to 1, and then self dot positions is equals to, and then we have the width and the height. So we have width, again width divided by 2, comma, so inside this bracket only we have height divided by 2, okay, and then we have self dot directions. So we have self dot direction is equals to, again, random dot choice, and that will be equal to up, comma, down, comma, left, comma, right. Yeah, that's it. So that's a list of the choices, and now we draw the rectangle. So basically the rectangle drawing is the same which was there earlier in the drawing in the Pac-Man game. So we just paste the code here. So def draw, and then we have for p in the self dot positions, we have r is equals to pygame rect. So we have drawn a rectangle for block size, and the position 0 and position 1, and now the surface is like the pygame self dot color, and the whole rectangle is black in color. Now let's just start with the food, right? So we define the class food. So class food, and again defining the init function for food. So we have x is equals to, again, now here we'll be using the random. So we have random dot rand int, random dot rand int, and then we have 0, comma, we have the width minus the block size. We have the width minus the block size in this one bracket, and then divided by the block size, and that whole thing will be multiplied by the block size again. So block size again, right? So this is for the x, and the same thing, we can just copy this whole thing and paste it here below for y as well. So let's just have this y, and instead of the width we'll have the height, H-I-G-H-T, height, right? That's it. Now self dot position. So for the food, that will be same. So self dot position, is equals to x comma y, and self dot color is equals to, let's say we have the white color, right? Self dot color is white. So we can change these values, right? So we can change all the values, and then for again the drawing part of the rectangle, we just for the drawing part of the food, basically we just paste the function here, then the same thing. So let's just have this and here. Yeah. Okay, now let's get started with the gaming directions here. So we have up is equals to, we have the coordinates 0, comma, -1. Okay, then we have down is equals to 0, comma 1. Then we have left is equals to -1, comma 0, -1, comma 0, and then we have right. So we have defined all the values now. That will be 1, comma 1, not -1, comma 1. So there is 1. That will be 1, comma 0. Okay, that's it. Now we start with the main function, where the code will all the functions will be invoked, basically. So now let's get started with the main function, main, and the clock in the game will be clock is equals to pygame dot time dot clock, and then snake is equals to, we have the snake class invoke, right? So snake again and close it, and for the food we have food is equals to all the methods from the food will be invoked here. So let's just have, so why is this giving me an error? I have defined the food here, okay, and class okay, class food, that's there, food is equals to food. I don't know why this is giving me a warning. It's just a warning, it's not an error actually. So now let's just get started with the while loop, and so first thing is for the quit statement. So we know already for the quit statement, for the quit statement, now we have the while loop where the code is for the quit statement now. And now after this if statement we have elif event dot type is equals to pygame dot, we have key down. Now all these will be the key down or key up will be pressed, and what will happen, so if this is pressed we have if event dot key is equals to pygame dot key underscore up. So now this key down is like if this is pressed, which key is pressed, so k underscore up is pressed, right? If this key is pressed, so what we have to do is snake dot turn, and then snake dot turn we have to select up if this up arrow is pressed. Now the same thing we'll have to select for all the others as well. So here inside this elif we'll copy this elif and paste it here below the if statement. Again if like elif, and then this if statement, so this for the key down we have only one thing. Now we can have snake dot turn for each and every value. So key underscore down, key underscore left, key underscore, so we can just copy and paste it from here itself, not this one. Let's paste this one, and instead of if we'll make this as elif. Okay, so now this will be instead of k dot up we have k underscore down, POW and down, and here this will be instead of up this will be down. Okay, now the same thing for left and right. So elif once and elif twice. Now this is for left and this is for right, and this will go left here, so we have left, and here it will be right. Okay, so this will call, or this will invoke the snake dot move function. So this will be below the elif here, snake dot move. Okay, so this will keep on moving the snake. Right now for the food, that will be below this elif or below the for loop actually. So let's say if snake dot head, or else snake dot get head position is equals to is equals to the food position, right? Is equals to the food dot position is equal to the food position. Then what will happen? The snake's length will increase by 1. So that's the logic. So we have snake dot length, length, right? So we have snake dot length plus equals 1, and score will be snake dot score plus equals 1 again, right? 1. Okay, and now food is equals to food again. So we will call that. Okay, so we have the food function. Let's just check the food function here. Oh sorry, no, not the food function, the food class. I don't think so. This should give an error. I think so. We have defined the class inside the function itself. Yeah, that's all. So we'll just take this back. So let's shift tab once, and this whole thing would be a shift tab. Yeah, now it won't give an error. See? Yeah, so that was an issue. We had the class defined inside the function itself. Now this is there. Okay, so the food is also now declared. Like what will happen to the food now, because we'll have to call it again, right? Because once the food is eaten, we'll have to call the food again. Only then it will be appearing again, right? So now let's just write the screen dot fill. So screen will be filled by what? It will be filled by black. Okay, and now snake dot draw, and what will be drawn here on the screen? First thing, snake will be drawn, then food dot draw. We already have them where? On the screen. So we already have these draw functions. If you can see here, we have the draw for food and we have the draw for snake. Plus snake, we have the draw function, right? So that will be drawn. Okay, and now we update. So Pygame dot display dot update. Once this is updated, we have clock dot tick, and once the clock ticks, we have FPS, that is the frames per second. Okay, that's it. And now for invoking the main function, so we have if underscore main is equals to main. So what we do, we invoke the main function, that is the main function. Yeah. So it's almost 110 lines of code. Let's just give it a try and let's run this. So we have some error here. Let's debug the error. What is it? Okay, let's just rerun it. Let's see what the error is. Yeah, we have it. So that's the game. Okay, so snake object has, okay, we ran it and now this is giving us an error. Okay, it ran multiple times and we have to click here. Okay, so here instead of position and positions, there is an error, and we have in the line number 40. So let's just go there and debug positions or position. So that is for move. Okay, so moving the, we have here is positions S. Okay, so now let's just clear this out. Actually we ran it multiple times, that's why it just hanged. Let's rerun that again. Yeah, now the you can see that it is moving, and just go ahead and grab the food. Yeah, now we have an error here. I was thinking for this error to be occurring LNGTH actually, so we'll have to change the LNGHT to LNGTH. Let's just find that and replace it by LNGTH level. Let's just replace all. Okay, now we don't have any errors. Let's just clear this and rerun it. So that's more important. The debugging part of the code is more important, and rather than just like when you code it, uh, you will also have to always learn to debug. So see, we have now one food eaten, so the size of the snake is now increased to 2. Now let's eat the third one, and now the updated value for the food, the snake's updated value is 3, and now the fourth value, so now that is appended, and now the fifth value. So I started playing the game actually, but yeah, it's fun. And let's just, if I just collide with the wall, does it happen anything? No, that doesn't happen. So for that we'll have to like have the hello, friends, and welcome to this amazing lecture where we are going to develop another game in Python, that is a ping pong ball, and we will be using again the Pygame library. So let's get started with the basic and the common steps, which are Pygame importing. And once the Pygame is imported, let's just initialize the Pygame, that is pygame.init. So once these are done, then we have the screen height, the screen width, and also the let's say the display set, that is the setting the screen, and the caption, right? So let's have these variables declared. Fetch. Then we have screen underscore height, and then we have the screen also. Then we have file game dot display set display, and then set caption. So the title will be Ping Pong, right? So the caption, let's say the caption is Ping Pong ball. Let's label it as Ping Pong. Okay, now the screen is equals to what? Pygame dot display dot set mode. So this will be a set mode, and the set mode will be having the screen width and the screen height. So now that we double brackets, let's just have the screen underscore width and the screen underscore height. These are the values which are not declared, right? So we have 600, and then let's have this as the width has to be bigger, right? Larger one. So let's keep this as, let's say, 9. Okay. So now these are done. Now we have the paddles, right? The paddles for playing with it. So let's say the paddle width is 10 and height will be 100. So paddle underscore width is equals to 10, let's say, and paddle underscore height is equals to 100. And the speed with which the paddle is moving. So let's say paddle underscore speed is equals to, let's the value as 5. Okay. So now there will be two players, right? So player 1 paddle and player 2 paddle, right? So that will be on one part of the screen, and the player 2 paddle will be on the other end of the screen. So those will be two ends, right? Here and then the here. So player 1 underscore paddle, let's say player 1 underscore paddle is equals to, we have Pygame. Now this will be inside the rect. So let's have the rect. Inside the rect we have 50, comma, and then we start with the screen height. So screen underscore GIGHT height minus p paddle height, that is that will be divided by 2, and then comma, we have the paddle width and the paddle let's say the paddle width and the paddle height. So after this we have the paddle width comma paddle height. That's it. Now we have here as for the player 2. So player 2 underscore paddle is equals to, we have again the same thing. Now here we have the Pygame dot, right, and with this we have screen underscore width minus 15 minus paddle width, right, and then comma, we have the screen height minus paddle height divided by 2, and after that we have the screen height minus the paddle. So after this we have the comma, and then start with divided by 2, and then paddle width, and the paddle height. So that's done now. Now after this we have the ball size and the ball speed, right? So we have ball underscore size is equals to, let's say, 10, and the ball underscore speed is equals to 5. Now initially player 1 and player 2 both scores are 0, right? So let's say player underscore 1, or else we can have player 1 underscore score is equals to 0. Player 2 underscore score is equals to again 0. Then we have font is equals to Pygame dot font dot font, and then we have none, comma 36. Now we have the game running under the loop, right? So the loop for the game has to be continuously there, and the keys for the keys for the game, which is up and down for both the players, right? So we have we start with running is equals to a boolean value that is true, and then we enter the while loop, that is while running. And now if this is there, so first we start with the quit event, right? So the quit event, we already know the code for that. So that is for the event in pygame.event.get, we have the event.type is equals to pygame.quit, and running is equals to false. The value of running changes and the game quits, right? Now if we want to start moving the pellets, now that code will be inside this for loop itself, right? So we have keys keys is equals to pygame dot key dot get underscore quest, and that game is equals to, now if we have keys is equals to, if keys is equal to the pygame dot then we have k underscore w, k underscore s, k underscore r, and k underscore r. Why that is? So the left hand side player, that is the player on this side, will be controlling the key, controlling with the keys w and s, that is up and down, right? So for that we have the pygame dot k underscore w, so that's this one. Okay, so that's this one, and the player 1 will be, and the player 1 underscore the paddle will be at the top, right? So that will be dot top is greater than 0. So a is greater than 0. So what will happen is the player 1 moves up, right? So now the player 1 will move up by with the speed, the for that speed. So here we have this value. Now if the player now same thing happens if the player now the height is changed, right? So if the player 2 is if the key is pressed, S key is pressed. So what will happen now? The player 1's paddle will move down, which is like if it is less and if it is less than the screen height. If it is less than the screen height, it will come down. So move instead of move and then it will be 0 and the paddle speed plus paddle speed, right? Now for the player 2, that is the up arrow and the down arrow. So we already know the up arrow and the down arrow here. So let's just have that code here. If the key is pressed, that is Pygame.up is pressed, and the last one you can just copy this for the same thing and edit the value, but I'll just paste it here. And if so, mind you, you can't use an else, right? Okay. Now let's just start with the code for moving the ball. So moving the ball is ball dot move underscore IP, and that will have ball underscore speed multiplied by the ball direction, that is ball underscore direction. Okay, and I don't think so we have the ball underscore direction in place, and we have already displayed devised the ball size and the ball speed, but we don't have the ball direction, and also we have not declared what the ball would look like. So that is the that is the part where we have to edit here. After the ball size and the ball speed, we have the values here. Okay, so now let's continue with the ball movement part. So in the ball direction, we have the 0 index and then comma the ball underscore speed multiplied by the ball direction with the first value. Okay. Now, if the ball is to the left and if the ball is ball dot left and it is written now, let's just I'll just copy and paste this here, and then I'll walk you through the code. What is the code here? So if the ball dot left is less than 0, player dot score is player 2's score will be okay, we have to press a tab here. Is plus is equals to 1 and ball direction is again 1. Now ball dot center, now the ball comes to the center and then again starts. Okay, now ball is to the right and player 1 score plus equals 1, right? And ball direction again now changes. Okay, and if the ball is to the top or ball to the bottom greater than the screen height, both of them screen height, then the ball direction now changes, right? The ball keeps on moving either to the paddle to the player 1 or to the player 2. Now check if the collision is happening for the collisions with the paddles, right? So what if the ball dot pull so we have collide, not this one, collide erect, erect with the player 1 underscore paddle, and for this, or the ball underscore, that is ball dot collide erect and with the player 2 paddle. What will happen now? So the ball direction is equals to ball underscore direction 0 is equals to, now here there is minus, that is negative ball underscore direction and then the same index, that is 0. Okay, so now again the same thing, we fill the screen with all the colors we have. So that will be inside this loop itself, right? So we have screen dot fill, and that will be with all the colors of 0, 0, 0, that's black. Okay. Now we also need the screen variable which was created earlier. So screen is declared there, and we are inside this file. Let's just check if the screen is okay. We don't have screen here. There was a type. Now that warning info. and then we have the rectangle to be drawn with the player 1 and player 2, and also the ball to be displayed. So that code is the code, this one. Okay, now we have the score underscore text, that is declaring the score for displaying the score on the screen. So let's say the score underscore text is equals to font dot render, and that would be using an f string. We declare its display here that we have the player 1 underscore score, player 1 underscore score, and we have minus we have player 2 underscore score, and then we have the format we don't need, but after that we just after that we have so we have comma, and then we have 2, and in the inside we have 55 comma 255 comma 255. So that's, I guess, we are displaying the score using red color. So true, and then again we have comma, and then red color. So splitting that, we are displaying that, and then screen dot we have the split method, screen dot split. Okay, again we have error, screen dot split, and now we should have score underscore text comma, we have the screen width, screen underscore width minus score underscore text. So we have the score underscore text dot get underscore, and then we need the width, right? So width, and we close the bracket, right? Underscore. Okay, after these two brackets we need to divided by 2. Okay, and then after this we don't need this whole thing, we just have to use 10. Okay, closing the bracket here, that will close the whole thing. Let's just have a space here. Okay, so now that the score is displayed here, and then we have to flip Pygame dot display dot flip, and then close the brackets, and the end we have Pygame dot wait. So that's the whole code for the ping pong ball, and now let's just run this once. I don't feel there will be any errors or any typos, but let's see once it runs and moves up the game. Yeah, so we have an issue. The score is kind of fill, and then we leave this inside the double brackets. So I remember that, and then we forgot to place those brackets earlier. Now we have it. Okay, the speed is too much, I guess. So that's the part. Okay. So the speed is too much, and we can control the speed by reducing the speed of the ball from here. By default, ball speed is 5. Let's keep it as let's say 2, and now let's run it again. So maybe it would be a bit slower. The ball would be a bit slower. Yeah, it's a bit slower. Okay, so yeah, now it's playable. Right? The game feels to be playable, and still we can decrease the speed to be 1 also, and yeah, those are the changes we can make inside the code, and that will be a clean code here. Sorry, that will be a clean code here, and we can change the value to, let's say, 0.5. I don't think so it would accept a decimal value, but let's try. Yeah, and I don't think so accept a decimal value, or else this speed is too slow. Let's give it 1, and let's just give it a run again. Yeah, so that's the perfect, actually that's the perfect speed with which that's the perfect speed with which we can play the user 1 and the user 2. Okay, the player 1 and player 2. Yes. So if I use W, then I can handle the W and S. That's the player 1, and with this it handles the player 2. Okay. So we can change the ball color here if we want, like the ball and to be red. So ball direction, ball size, then ball speed, ball direction, ball size, ball speed and direction, right? That is the ball. I don't think so. We have the ball color and the ball color also. The ball size and speed is declared here. And we have it here somewhere wherein we can yeah, that's the ball speed and the ball 55, 55. So I guess this is the white color. So that's the ball, right? So that's white color. If you want to make it red, we need 0, right? So that will be 0, and this also will be 0. Sorry. Now let's try, and we can also display the score as red. First, let's try this. The ball now changes to red. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, so those are the changes which you can do in the code and follow along basically. So thank you guys and happy learning.